quite easily. But in the meantime, Ohio, he's not wasting his time. He's spending it making sure that he's building up a few stacks for his Leshrac as well. Really, it's the race between Alacrity and Zillone to see who is going to be that presence that their team can look to rally around at the and also minute mark. The 2 points in the diabolic edict right now, so nothing really enough to do too much damage to this mid tower, even if Zillone was able to push it in quite heavily.
I think this is a big time though for 496. Like, seeing how much they can get out of the first nighttime is Red, in fact, is getting brought down as Mino Dream and Polished. And Dream's a very high level at the moment, already up to 5. This lane, 27 losses, 2 kills, is having a really, really solid start to this game.
Kami-sama doing a very good job here on the bottom side of the map. One of his signature heroes for sure. Pick that one up. He might look to even try and deny a little bit more of that experience away. Pulling the hard camp, might even get the stack off into the next wave. Yeah, just making Night Stalker's life even more difficult. Now that he's level 4 though.
Got a bit of a battle going on. Leshrac and Zhao Bonbon. Nice cookie set up. I think Clock was just trying to scout out some jungle stacks and scouting out, trying to prioritize picking up the rune here for the Shadowfin.
Was able to claim it, even just feeding the mangoes over his Zhao Bonbon over to his Leshrac. Obviously, just wanting to enable him as much as possible. This one goes down on the top side, and that's a big win considering you had 2 people rotating down towards this bottom side of the map. Got the nighttime advantage. Really good game sense coming through there from Dream. Actually, he just saw them underneath the ward. It's nothing to do with game sense. I'm talking out my ass right now, but they are able to take away one of these bigger stacks. So Zillone still having a good time.
As well. I mean, you just see min-max to perfection, trying to put the support mid, get a little bit of experience, a little bit of gold in a lane where your position 2's kind of vacated the area. Doing his best to keep that tower alive as well. I again really want to see Dai start to use his first nighttime as Zillone connecting with Red down bot. Phantom Assassin is a hero that cannot farm the jungle at a rapid rate as the thing coming up here. We'll get rid of the reincarnation on Ghost. Is it fair way away from the tier 1? Reinforcements coming at a little delayed timing here. The cookie's enough to reposition Ghost to safety, but in your drink, no, not gonna matter. It's Midget a kill getting the level 6, and that sets up for a beautiful Echo Slam as they find a second kill. But Red's now gonna show up to the party. He's got this Dark Ascension ready to rock and roll with the extra damage, but they still gotta be cautious because the Grimstroke combined with the Phantom Assassin is no joke of a combination. But Red, airwalking at the moment, pushing Radiant further and further back.
Dire's middle tower.
It's just Mizu again having such a big impact, right? The fact that you were able to get the kill on the Wraith King, plus force everyone that was taking this tier 1 tower to rotate towards the top side, is a big win, right? Like, I thought, okay, they're just going to go the 1-for-1 trade. It's not too big of a deal because at this stage of the game, you know, it's just going to respawn pretty quickly. But they don't even take this tower, and now something is able to defend it a little. Try and make a bit of a play himself alongside Alacrity. Join him up together with the use of that haste rune. He's got his Requiem of Souls available as well, so maybe looking to try and set up here again around Mizu, that he's able to defend this tower as quickly as possible.
I need the Reds to die to connect down bottom as well. Again, they need these early conversions on towers. Gonna catch out Alacrity the moment. Zillone's not gonna connect as well, but Alacrity's gonna be cautious. He doesn't have time to chop the Requiem. As a cookie, great position from Snapfire, sweeping on over from the western side. As now they'll surround the Clockwork. He's just gonna go for a straight heads up TP, but the stun's ready up and available once again as 496 to bring the whole crew down bottom, and the Goons find 3.
That's exactly what they needed. Now they can transition that through into the tower. Good presence of mind. I don't know if that was an intended bait or not, because it was quite a clever movement, right? Like, the Clockwork TP's away from the lane. He does it under vision so that they can see him doing it, and then smokes alongside the Shadow Fiend with the haste. You probably wouldn't expect the Clockwork to come all the way back. So maybe it was a case of 496 just being in the right place at the right time, but it's going to work out really nicely for him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What are we looking for NIGMA Galaxy here on how they can make plays? Is it going to be really off the back of the Clockwork? Because, again, it feels like Mizu hasn't had a game. His laning stage was not The sound is what we saw in game one. So who's going to be the hero here to really enable the playmaking from NIGMA Galaxy?
Top tower is under attack.
I mean, it's going to have to be the Shadow Fiend, right? Like, again, Alacrity is so much is on his shoulders right now. He's died a couple of times, which is never ideal. As a Shadow Fiend, you can really only get away with, I would say, these 2 deaths before like 15, 20 minute mark.
Top lane, they're going to jump deep on Ogre. Once again, the rotation's starting to flock on out as the Phantom Assassin now stuck behind the tower. You cannot be giving up your life like this on a hero like the PA, someone who, when you can start to fall behind.
At least the mid's pushing in, though, with the siege creep. Like, this is exactly what Alacrity needs to do. He needs to try and be creating space in this fashion. Making the scan come through. Not going to clip onto Zillone, but should still be fine here on Alacrity. See, though, even with those couple of deaths, he's opened up a tiny little bit of a experience lead over him. I believe he just smoked as it turned into daytime, and they even had the Observer Ward there as well, so they know exactly the fact that they're looking to make this sort of play once more.
Guy looks like they're setting up for it too.
Yeah, they know that the Dark Ascension was used on the top side, so with red showing on the lane, try and make some sort of play through Xiao Bonbon. Good positioning though, gets the double stun off as well. Makes them think twice about going up onto that high ground, and this isn't exactly where In Your Dream wants to be either, right? Like, you're just a PA. You can't really take this tower all that easily. The Blightstone's only going to be so effective. I feel like without Alacrity there to back you up, stay alive pretty damn easily.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're looking to backstab up top. Run straight into Polison first. An aggressive use of the Yule Scepter, however, so that's just going to be cautious now without this in the arsenal as they're going to pounce, recognizing the weakness. And Zillone is penalized for the heavy commitment here, and well, now this top tower should be open to claim.
I feel like that was just a really good reaction coming through from NIGMA Galaxy. They weren't aware of that kill attempt, I don't believe. You also had a really good Observer Ward down there to spot out any kind of TPs coming through, but it was just that instant reaction coming through from the supports, able to save.
Top tower is falling.
This time around, like last time, we've got Yoakam going into the rocket flare being maxed out. Just the 2 points in the battery assault. Again, I like it because you're up against the Snapfire. It's not easy to get that battery assault chained in onto people. So you may as well just look to try and maximize your damage, particularly against the Wraith King, when you can just spam out this rocket flare against these pesky skeletons and prevent a lot of this ghost push from coming into your side of the map.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We're seeing another drums as well in the Clockwork. What do you feel like this is able to provide maybe the hero and the team?
Incoming!
It's not quite as good as it was last game, just because with the drums, obviously with the Meepo, it provides a great extra layer of damage potential. This time around, it does feel like the only ones that are really going to be right-clicking by the time he picks it up is himself and the Shadow Fiend. PA's still going to be wanting to charge somebody.
Alacrity trying to charge up the Requiem. They're a little bit too far away to get mass usage out of it, but Yoakam just runs away. Okay, this Clockwork keeps his life, and look at the kill on the Snapfire too. So Spawn 496, unfortunately a casualty in their regard, and they popped Dark Ascension to no avail.
Going to be, well, how long left? About 10 or so seconds, so you'll have a minute of daytime. Let's see, looking to make a play around that. What have they got coming out to the career? It's just the Mithril Hammer, the Dragon Lance plus Mithril Hammer. Good amount of damage. Hell, even the PA realizing this is a big window for them to try and make something happen around this mid lane. Even if it's just taking the tier 1 tower, I feel like you're going to be happy with that as an objective while it's the daytime. Surprising, to be honest. I feel like you've got this window that you want to be taking advantage of as much as possible. Mizu trying desperately to finish up that Blink Dagger.
Dire's middle tower.
Somewhat easy hold, I would say. Not hold, take of the objective.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Now it's just the question of how long do you stay? Planted up a couple of these Observer Wards inside the enemy base, as well as a couple of sentries as well. But positioning himself towards the top of the stairs, making sure that any kind of smoke attempt that happens, they're going to be the ones that catch it out before Alacrity's Shadow Fiend.
I mean, we've got a very even game at the moment, and kind of slowing this pace down. 16 kills, 15 minutes in, but who does this game favor at the moment with the status quo? Is Radiant a little bit more happier with the slower pace? That Dire content that they're going to hit their timing shortly?
The fact that you haven't lost your mid tier 1 tower against a Leshrac, pretty damn significant, especially considering you've got a PA going that battle fury.
Mizu
though.
Yeah, definitely. Great use to the observer ward placed previously.
And the thing is, you can't buy back to defend this, right? Like this tower, you have to let it go
Radiant's
with
middle
being able to take it. So it's a big win coming through the rocket flare, just revealing him for a second. Tower able to hit him. This should be a pretty easy take for 496.
You were just speaking about the importance of the Leshrac needing to take these early T1 towers, especially mid, and align up that Radiant a little bit more greedy in the regard of having a PA and a Shadow Fiend. So this will open up the map now for the next night time, but Radiant got some item timing starting to work on for them as well with Blink and BKB, and a perfect use of the sword line combined up with a hook shot. They're all caught out in the river, so Alacrity can charge up for the blow up Zillion. That's all they'll really get out of it. So a nice pick off, but more kills that come.
Mizu, they dropped a smoke for him inside the base. So he TP'd in, then used the smoke, and he's looking to try and catch someone out that might still think, okay, we can make a play while this Dark Ascension's up for the next couple of seconds.
Oh, they're gonna... Oh, they see Ghost straight away. Great rocket flare from Yokam.
Only a couple of seconds left on that smoke, though. Mizu has to be careful with his positioning, and yeah, he's going to back off.
Radiant have been playing really well this series overall around their vision. Like you see how they've got the ward mid and on top of the high gun, and they're going to continue to play around this. They're coming outside the base. They need to follow up with Mizu straight away. Alacrity's going to look to answer straight on top of Ghost. He's got the reincarnation ready and available. If they can pop it early, that would be a good start for NIGMA Galaxy. They're unable to do so with some solid armlet toggles. This also drags them out of the pit. How low was Roche? About a quarter health taken care of.
They really want to try and prioritize it as much as possible. They wanted to defend their high ground vision as well, but now that that's taken away, they're feeling a little
no.
anxious.
Does Mizu just want to drop the ultimate? Snapfire is nearby, really good positioning from the support. And out of the southern side, even Red kind of angling for a way in, but
he needs that ultimate. You know, you need some sort of way to get in onto the backlines again. It's all about revealing the positioning of Mizu. It feels like he's the one that could look to turn this game on its head.
Again, Dark Ascension down for another 40. So how does the Night Stalker really get in the middle of the fight? Ghost is on the Vanguard, trying to lean the charge of the river. Just two hits Paulson, but it's going to look to buy back instantly. But the Age is already claimed in the hands of Alacrity, but Radiant, they're splitting away from the area. Looking to get back once up to their higher ground. They could potentially take a fight around their control if they force 496 into a choke point, setting up for Mizu's Echo Slam. They're leading once again on top of the Wraith King, trying to take the first line. There is Alacrity. He's pop faking the Requiem, but after the southern side, it's a dive back for Polison, so they won't have the Grimstroke now completely for this fight.
Nice armlet toggles coming through from Ghost. Again, just not giving Mizu the avenue that he needs to be able to get into this team fight. They had the vision advantage that time around. Still feeling somewhat cautious about wanting to make the extra move to go in. It was a good attempt by Grimstroke to try and rejoin that team fight, because it feels like as soon as they're locked in place, as soon as you restrict their movement just slightly, that's the window that Mizu needs to really make the big plays happen.
I mean, you hate to see it for Polo, having the die back there, but as a team aspect, you love him live. Alacrity finds Ages, more time to just farm up. Do you feel like this is mainly going to be like a defensive Ages, or could we see NIGMA Galaxy maybe play a little bit more on the aggressive front here soon?
Maybe just looking to wait for the BKB on the PA. Honestly, wouldn't hate it if he just went all in for the Desolator, just so that, you know, you can go perhaps the presence or affects buildings, just for that extra little bit of tower taking potential, while you do have that Aegis at your disposal.
I think it has to be said as well, just a complete different build we're seeing from Ghost. Like, he's playing a lot more pressure onto NIGMA Galaxy here with this Blink Deso armor instead of the Radiance. Like, he's probably going to solo kill the Grimstroke once again. And this is just a completely different build. It's not this, you know, do nothing Radiance rush off the armlet where you're just farming the jungle and farming for the first 22 minutes. Like now Ghost is top of the net worth, which with items that can farm, but also items that can fight. It really gives you the best of both worlds.
And push as well on top of that. Obviously the Desolator not quite as good as it used to be when paired together with the Leshrac, because Edict is pure damage instead of physical, but it just still provides so much to your team, especially when you can pop this army of skeletons. It means that the creep wave probably doesn't even die with this. It's just going to be the skeletons soaking up the majority of the damage. There we go. Backdoor still there. TP comes in from Shadow Fiend. Has to be careful.
Oh, in your dream. He's just looking to pop Ghost at the moment. Alacrity as well, joining the fray. That's early usages of the BKB, but it can set up for Alacrity's Requiem straight on around 2. As they'll blow up Ghost, the rest of Spawn 496 retreat away from the area, but it's a costly death nonetheless.
It is. I mean, I like the fact that they're going for that move, but you have to go for that move with your team around you, right? Like, you can't just make that easy engagement if the Snapfire's there laying out the Mortimer's Kisses on top of you, right? Like, you're not at this stage just yet where, I mean, I guess they did have the BKB, so that does give them that extra layer of safety that they were looking for, but I don't know, it feels like maybe you get the save on afterwards to be able to...
One more?
Good job.
What are you doing up here, my guy? You pull him down. You kill into his hands. My guy's just being this Roman ward. Okay. The one nice thing as well for Radiant is that they definitely have ways to blow up Wraith King on the first life, and then second life you just charge up Requiem. Like he did have Blink queued up. He's now going to the Silver's Edge. Just, oh, what a fission. He instantly cuts the initiation into half, but Red's still able to close the distance. They're going to look to try and jump Alacrity, but once the BKBs are forced out for the Radiant cause, it's just going to force Dire back onto their side of the map as they can't stand their ground. But now that they've expired, they might try and find a different angle in. Jumped in. Still another hook shot from Yokan as well on the mark, because they've got so much control. It's so difficult for Dire to find an avenue into these fights.
Yeah. Oh, patient. He was just standing there in this Shadow Amulet. No, he isn't AFKing in the mid lane. He was just making sure he was completely out of any kind of vision. They had no detection right now, so they didn't know exactly where he was, and it just left them in two minds. You know, they didn't know how deep they could go. They didn't know if they were going to get punished by the Earthshaker, and hell, even if they were on top of him, they had no detection. Absolutely nothing. And the only thing is on the Yoga Magi, and he doesn't want to be that deep on the front lines. Really seen the value out of this Veil of Discord either. I mean, I still think it's an insane item.
Look at all Mizu just dropping a solo echo. You know what he does? He's just like, okay, in your dream, I'm gonna do all the damage, I'm gonna drop a big ultimate, I'm gonna just let you get the kill. You're my carry, Kami-sama all the way, let me set you up for a beautiful game. He's top of the net worth now, almost Desolated completed, and the damage is gonna start to ramp up as well, considering you've got maxed out Presence of the Dark Lord, and almost level 20 as well for PA if she does want the armor corruption, so I'm gonna have to keep tabs on their armor as the game goes on.
He's even just gone for a little bit of a, I don't know if it was a kill attempt on Ohio on the top side. Very hard to kill an Ogre Magi. I actually just saw Ohio's build and he hasn't maxed out the Ignite. I'm not sure how big of a fan I'm of that, especially if you go the Veil build. Like, it is the amount of damage that you're able to do with Ignite.
Ohio's going to run straight into the Grimstroke, and once again the Soulbind is making this team fight really difficult for the Night Stalker to propel himself around. Just a quick 1-2 punch as NIGMA Galaxy again out of nowhere. They bring the
Dire's top tower.
Now this little skirmish victory can be transitioned into another objective.
With Desolator freshly picked up as well. Didn't go for the Presence of the Dark Lord effect towers, but like the Shadow Rays damage, you're totally happy with that, especially prior to some of these BKBs coming online. It's only Night Stalker that's even remotely close to having his picked up. Lesh has got it coming out. No, there we go. Lesh finished it on the courier, so maybe that opens up a bit of a window. Wouldn't hate them seeing, wouldn't hate to see them wait for Ghost's level 3 ultimate as well.
does feel like they've got issues right now with jumping some of the key components on NIGMA Galaxy's lineup. Like, Earthshake is doing so much with the minimal net worth that he had. Now his net worth is starting to grow a little bit, but Grimstroke's Soulbinds his past couple of fights been important. And all eyes on once again if they can find the initiation, which they will. And rips apart again. DD, couple of crits. You love to see it. Leshak brought down to the grave. They'll kill off the Ogre too. I mean, it's just NIGMA Galaxy Southeast Asia here in this mid-game.
And that was with the BKB freshly popped as well by the Leshak. Towards the end, just trying to get that tiny little bit of extra safety, but work out too well for them. And yeah, they can't make these sorts of movements unless Red has the BKB. That's why they can't go in onto the backlines. And well, they've seen that he cancelled his TP. They might just look to continue pushing forward if they know that this Night Stalker isn't going to join. I mean, he's farming almost under vision now. Here we go, even scouting him out there. Rocket going to pass over his head. Maybe even rotate back a little bit here. Jokem going on a little bit of a hunt.
Rock it on.
The Rocket Flare and In Your Dream looking to back him up.
I like this though. They're like, yeah, maybe we can keep chasing down the Night Stalker, but that could leave our wards vulnerable that are all placed aggressively. So let's just jump in! Oh, Mizu and In Your Dream again! Just blows up the Leshak. He was there all of a sudden off your screen. 496 just have no map to play through. Once again, it just really feels like when NIGMA Galaxy C get any little bit of control, they use this to perfection, and when they have a lead, they can close it out.
There is a small window now, though, for 496. You know that they don't have Aegis. You know that the Echo Slam is on cooldown, and very, very close, actually, has finished up the BKB now on Red. It's going to actually reveal it in lane, so if they're really on point, able to scout this one out if they're just looking into his inventory. But you try and keep this wave pushed in a little bit more. They wouldn't go for this dive, would they? They wouldn't.
Level 20, so it's got that extra minus armor. They're doing the calculation. Let's see if they got their damage. Yes, sir, they do. In Your Dream, my God. Godlike at the moment. We've got a hook shot as well, catching our Ghost. They're trying to pop the early use of the reincarnation, which will do so successfully. Now Malakri can charge up the Requiem. Straight on top of the round two. Respawn is In Your Dream. Back again into the fray. A triple for your Phantom Assassin. Trying to give him the Rampage as well. Jalab on one. He can scurry out to safety, but the rest of the team not as fortunate as the Phantom Assassin. He's going headhunting right now.
And they're just going to continue pushing on forward. I feel like 496 are just going to wait until their ancient falls. I don't think they called GG last game even after the fact, so it's a little rough, right? It feels like this. There were a lot of good individual plays. It just feels like, oh, okay, that's good something.
BKB's on cooldown. I'd love to see it. A little bit of creativity here for the boys on Dire.
Blur.
Still In Your Dream.
Oh,
Drops it down to the southern side. Mizu's ready and waiting in the wings, but In Your Dream's gonna turn. Oh, he's just so goddamn far. He's not even gonna die. I mean, that's a 2 points in Ignite there for you. I think if he's got maxed out Ignite, he's dead.
There's no point in going for Veil from a purely like, if you're gonna max Fire Blast. Like the damage ramp up that big. Ignites is huge. Like going from, oh god, quick map, 180 damage to 400 damage from level 2 to level 4 is insane. And then you're buffed further with the Veil, plus you've also got the talent at level 10 to increase it further on top of that. It's just way too much to deal with, especially when you're able to, you know, cast it multiple times in a team fight with the use of that multicast.
And now he's even got the shot as well, more than likely. It's such an incredible upgrade here for Pia. I really feel like this is a big reason why we're starting to see the hero. Like Shard, Aghanim's been buffed up a little bit over time. And
is it gonna use it?
Did he?
Maybe he gave it to Mizu. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
It's, well, no, give it back. Maybe he'll give it to Shadowfiend. Because I feel like it's not an amazing Fountain Knife. not amazing.
Definitely, but like the damage is ridiculous. It's a lot. 16% against the Night Stalker, even the supports as well. Like Snap's got 2200 health. I mean, Immortal Strike is great to get rid of.
Hold on. Okay, she's got the Ags. Yep. P8, use it.
Oh yeah, 100% now.
Nope, gives it over.
100%. I like
I feel like just having two Fan of Knives, like just the more abilities that you have, the bigger value that
you get from the blessing.
Yeah.
It's going to be another game where my 17,000 net worth lead after that tower falling. We did see some creativity though. Like Dyer showed with that Aghanim switch, didn't even see getting queued up from the snap fire, so it's not going to catch them off guard again because they've already had at least one fight not go to their favor off the back of it, but it really feels like this is what you're hoping on. Maybe Night Stalker with Dark Ascension can swing on, get on top of the Grimstroke, and then maybe gobble
hasn't
up
happened yet. I'll say that much. You know, like that's what needs to happen. You need to get in onto the backlines. You need to find Mizu. Team fight. But if you just buy the Shadow Amulet, if you use it on yourself, it doesn't have that 7-second cooldown. It is a 0-second cooldown. So you could just move away from any kind of sentry wards that they've got and just stay completely out of vision until you want to take the team fight. So basically the only option that the Night Stalker has is to go for like a gem, and you're already dying so much and getting like two-shot by a PA and a Shadow Fiend that it's such a risky play to make. So really enjoying this itemization coming through from NIGMA Galaxy.
And we've seen the impact from the supports as well from game 1 and game 2. Like the early game fights were really put to a halt thanks to the soul buying. There was just no way Dyer could maneuver in these fights. Like Lesh, Night Stalker, even a Wraith King really rely on not getting kited. Like you rely on these abilities just to stay on top of the enemy and get a quick pick off and then transition that into more. But we saw the Soulbind do so much work. We've seen Yokem as well with how he's just been kind of making these avenues into the fights that much more difficult with his hooks and the cogs as well. So I mean, it's just been the supports to set up for a game where, you know, Kami-sama has been able to go 16-1 and 6.
I don't think he died last game as well. It was only 5 kills, but no deaths is the thing that you want, especially. I mean, they're going to force some TPs coming back here from Ghost because you're losing your base, my man.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
One full set to barracks already claimed, and
I don't know how I feel about them just walking in. Yeah, they're going to spin it away.
That's a nice start to the fight, but it's going to cost them the lives of the left track as well, who does not have a buyback. A 4-on-4, not including the ages as well, but the chain lockdown's perfect. They've wasted the BKB on the first life. Now Dyer, all they need to do is make sure they split up. Don't sit up for the Echo Slammers. Mizu, he's waiting the wings once again, trying to find the angle in, but the repositioning from In Your Dream is off to the outskirts and jumps back on. They'll blow up too with ease, and let's just see how they're able to reposition afterwards.
This is just still waiting. He didn't even need to do anything in that team fight outside of, I believe, one Fisher. So, real good. Continuing to do so for NIGMA Galaxy as they rotate towards the top side of the map. It's an exposed one. They would try and go in for the kill there onto Ghost, but no glyph remaining. Maybe now that Zillow is able to come back in, but just fallen way too far behind. They're going to go for one last attempt here. Another spin in, but he doesn't have the BKB.
Do it with flair.
See, when he finished up his previous item, and same sort of thing with the Yoga Magi going into the Ghost Scepter, I was kind of feeling that they needed a Aeon Disc instead, because it feels like whoever's dying first is just getting 100 to 0 first. And the Ghost Scepter
is just going to jump. Does at the moment, still Ghost is trying to deal with the supports. They clean up Robert on Mizu. He's finding the angle, drops the Echo once again onto 2 heroes. Oh, they're just cleaning up house now with 3 down. In Your Dream is looking to continue to stack up the kills. Already over 20 at the moment on game 2.
Can't even
it's been set up so perfectly for the game as NIGMA Galaxy see what a way to start Division 2 off with a clean 2-0 victory over Spawn 496.
exactly the way that you want to start things off, like you said. And yeah, not too much that you can